of time is it? It's go time in the kingdom, baby. It's go time in the kingdom. I'm sitting here studying, uncovering our history, and this forensic scientist. I know this lady was so in depth in her studies. She's coming from a forensic background, and she's studying uh, history, genetics, um, retracing the steps back to who is Israel and Judah. Of course, the Southern Kingdom are the people in Africa who wound up in Africa later and were scattered throughout the whole damn globe. And a lot of people, and I'm listening to her, she like, if it depends on what level of understanding you operating from that you can receive. And she said she's been studying for 4 years to compile the information. I'm like, I feel you. But she's been zoomed in on particular topics that, like, lady, we get a, a briefing every day of these same of the same stuff y'all talking about. Y'all spending 4 years to study. We getting a crash course on that every day. You know, poor people, and I understand they doing things, the way that they learn. The programming is deep, family. I'm telling you, you think outside the program, you come outside the program, they gonna think you crazy. But in reality, you truly do overstand because you're not operating in the wisdom of men, you know, man's doctrine or philosophies or, whatever you call it. You operating in the authority of the Most High, and you have to be careful how you move, and you have to be upright about it. You know, I can't never think that one word. It describes, it's an adjective, and it describes your way of doing um, work in a righteous manner, but it's not the word righteous. I'm sitting here at the studio, in the studio anyway, creating some things of value. I had to take inventory sometimes because I know what I got in me. We got the Most High, and that comes with limitless possibilities. But if you're not zoomed in, you don't train your mind and have things in order, family, shit can get out of hand where you just moving and spinning your wheels and ain't nothing happening. You can have all the wisdom and knowledge in the world. But if you don't train your mind and move accordingly, you just gonna be spinning your wheels. I don't think nobody likes to spin their wheels. That ain't fair. You live, you learn, you die, and forget it all. Like I said, I'm sitting here creating a print for the Hebrew Israelites. I should use that, but I should use that. I'm gonna keep it upright. Okay, I know what the word is, integrity. Whatever you do, you want to do it with integrity. And like I said, I understand the world has a system that's based off the law. Then the Most High has a system that is constructed on the law, fulfilling the law, which Mashiach showed us how. But many don't believe. They don't believe the law of the Spirit, which is operating within the law itself. Because it's God's word. He is spirit and in truth. And everything that he speaks, it establishes. It establishes an event. Let's just say that. It establishes order kingdom order. I'm looking for a particular print to go with this. I don't want no nothing Roman or the Spartans, none of that. I'm making a design for the Hebrew Israelites. No crazy face, psycho looking people. But I want something militant, soldierish. But it has to be tribal. More alone because we tribesmen. We're not Romans, Spartans. And when I do my designs, I'm not gonna use none of that. But as you can see, that's all they got. You got the Vikings, the Romans, the Spartans, United States Air Force, Armed Forces. Uh, you see the Vikings, they got archers. We do have archers, but you could tell our archers. Now that silhouette might be decent. Yeah, the silhouette of this archer, mounted archer. Because our people moved, we had archers out there in the battlefield. We're going in the field to wage war with other nations. I'm speaking biblically, biblically. I'm speaking Bible. We operate in the Spirit according to the Spirit and following the Spirit, which is the Spirit and truth. The Most High, how sis say, the Most High, cannot lie, and he can't. Like this assassin here, a ninja. Black folk did create martial arts. Black folk was the first. Everything came through black folk. Now I ain't saying we created everything, but it began with black folks. Black folks, the so-called Negroes, and some of the other tribes, which overall is for all who love the Most High in Christ and keep His commandments. It's for all, no matter who you are. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different. Then you will be led of their own devices, and you will be living in error. And the Most High will hold you just as guilty. Yes, you could be listening to a person, but then you have to go. They even got Egyptian figures here. Um, then you have to go and do your research to prove all things. That would be cool right there, because that represents us dynamic fitness pose. And fitness in the fitness realm, we like gods. You did. In the fitness realm, the Negro is like God. And overall, that's that Deuteronomy 7 and 6. And overall, you are a special people unto Yahuwah. Yahuwah chose you to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are on the face of the earth. And that's just what it is, family. And it comes with, and that's a humbling situation. It's not the, I wouldn't be out here touting my heritage as if that makes me better than the next person. No, that comes with humility. That's how they can tell who you really are in serving. I can't tell who you are if you're the big boss and you never served. Mm-mm. The master even served, so I don't go for all that. Different strokes for different folks. There's different levels, but ain't no passing them. Like yes, people are born in different offices with different levels of anointing. Yes, we are. And then we study different. We all study in different capacities. Some of us who have been outside of the world, out in the world, but not of the world, that felt that the door of opportunity was never open for them. Like we didn't have nothing to offer. But then again, it goes back to being freeborn and being a child of the world, being spiritual, spiritually born and being born of the world. You got different type of people here. It's down. I could talk. Nobody need to see me. I ain't trying to become no. I don't need my face plastered out over here because the things that I say, people not gonna like. If your asses don't like me in real life, I know they they ain't gonna like to hear that online, and they'll show you. But I'm not doing it for the people. I don't need no thousands of people coming showing up and you entertaining all that for what? Unless we on the agenda. If we have an agenda that's kingdom, yeah, shit. I got the mind to teach a nation because it's not my doctrine that I'm teaching you. It's the word of Yahuwah that was there from the beginning. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different. I hear a lot of people, oh, the law wasn't there. You don't know what you're talking about. In the beginning, Elohim created what? The word. John 1. In the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. Genesis 1 is telling us. I've went over this before, those two Hebrew symbols, Aleph and Tav, which represents the Messiah. You have the head and the sign. The Aleph is the beginning. The head, Yahuwah, the leader. The Tav, cross, two cross sticks, a sign. Sign from who? The Father's a spirit, so only, and he's the creator of all spirits, family. Don't nothing happen without his say so. Even Satan, remember Satan was roaming to and fro seeking who he can devour. Yeah, he went at Job, but he asked him. The Most High asked him, did he consider his servant Job? Then he gave him instructions on how to deal with it. So don't nothing happen without without permission from Yahuwah. I don't care who or what it is. Don't let them fool you, because they'll only be lying to you. And if I don't tell you this, then your blood will be on my hands. Yes, you are my responsibility. I ain't been coming on here every day for the last since 2000, what, 7, 8, 9, around there. When they first started, I was around the time Tyrese dropped them movies. Oh man, that changed everything because I started following the doctors. I started researching real heavy. And at that time, the spirit had moved one of the Igbo brothers in my path. And oh my God, I haven't stopped reading the Bible since and doing real in-depth research for the last 10 years about a particular subject. A particular subject, thus said the Most High, and who he was speaking to, and who are the nations? What is our purpose, and how do we play in the overall picture of this kingdom, the kingdom of heaven? I had to find out, and trust me, I found out. I'm still learning. It's a lot I'm learning. Like I had to learn, which I've never been a racist person or prejudiced or nothing like that. But it's a lot of information that we go back and forth over, and you see the actual spirit. Fair use copyright. Fair use copyright. You might hear some noise. That ain't me with that shit. But you may be going back and forth reading certain informations and retrospect to that studying, all the studying and information you coming across. When you explaining things, you're gonna explain exactly who, what, when, why. Then eventually, you're gonna be talking about real people in real time. The Bible is not a play toy. You can't play with it. It's not something you pick up once a week thinking, oh, I'm putting in that work. No, family, it's a way of life. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday process because every day you learning more. You're you're being expanded more. The Most High will stretch you. You could be going in a situation to and it's going a certain way, but that you are in tune with the Most High now, and you moving like a son. You know, you got the power. You know, you moving according to the kingdom, the power in His glory. So everything that you do, it should look like the Messiah to us. Not that you are the Messiah, but to think like Him. You know, to move like Him. He moved as the Father commanded Him to move. He told you. But yet He is the Father come in the flesh that a lot of y'all don't get. A lot of your leaders don't talk about it. Your group leaders, your camp leaders, your church leaders, your mosque leaders. I even hear the Muslims trying to explain Yahushua. They don't know nothing. Don't none of them people know nothing about the Messiah of Israel. They talking about the Bible, bringing other prophets to that the Messiah spoke on. Why would He tell you about another when He is the Word of the Father come in the flesh? The Father is a spirit, so you got to understand how He moves. You know, you can't speak on Him unless you really know Him. And if you're not a Hebrew in real time, like right now, I wouldn't be listening to people because people are opportunists. You know, Peter Paul said, try them all. And I've come to the conclusion that if it's not of coming from Jacob, who the word was given to, I would question who I sit and eat from and still question Jacob, who I'm eating from. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to research what you are sharing with me or bringing to the table. Because I know this thing is real. A lot of people take it for granted. They'll say, I'm of the Most High. We represent the kingdom. But tonight, they praying they get a better job from the world. That's not from the Most High. The Most High is going to make you an owner. In Genesis 1, verse 28, He told you to be fruitful and multiply. That don't mean go to work for nobody. He told you don't make no oaths because you can't control one piece of hair that's on the top of your head, whether you could turn it gray or white or black or whatever color it is. You can't control it. It's the point I'm making. Everything is controlled by the unseen power. Yet we say we believe, but then we partially believe because you could tell we don't treat one another with what? With love. And then we don't believe on the Messiah. No, we don't. We listen to others and base our approach and understand our understanding and applying, which is an act of worship, based on what the opposition be saying. The devil comes to kill, steal, and to destroy, and to cause confusion. He's the author of confusion. So if me and you are not in agreement, and there's some sense of confusion, when we could both sit here and read the book, but what people fail to realize in your different religions, even Christianity, the Bible is not a Christian book. The Bible is for souls, spirits. When the Most High blew the Ruach HaKodesh, and man became a living soul only by the Ruach. That's coming from the God of the Hebrews, the living God. That's the power that's in you and me. It's in everything with the breath of life in it. He gave it to us. So you are subject to Him. And His kingdom is not defined by no other religion. He didn't need no another prophet once Messiah came. And the prophets that He utilized were from the bloodline of Shem. He didn't go outside of Shem and choose no prophet. The Messiah chose disciples and had his apostles to go and make disciples of others. Make disciples, not prophets. Witnesses unto the kingdom of the Father of Israel. You know, but no, they talking about religions and how the Father had to use His word, which came in the flesh. Isaiah 9:6, Isaiah 7:14, Matthew 1, it talks about the Messiah, the Father. He told you, I'm going to show you a sign myself. And that sign was the Messiah. Behold, a virgin shall be with child. That's Mary from the tribe of Judah. And just so you know, Joseph is not the father. Your leaders don't understand things of the spirit. And a lot of people, a lot of servants of the Most High don't understand. They still stuck in Moses' seat. Like there's not a greater than Moses that came and gave you, matter of fact, he gave you two commandments and a host of other ones as you read. And then you got to remember the commandments from Moses' time. Certain commandments, we don't do away with the law. No, we fulfill it in the spirit. By what you couldn't do in the flesh, he had to come in the spirit. So when we dealing with the Messiah, you have to give him his due respect. You got to carry him like the eternal. And a lot of people will ask questions like, well, why he didn't know this or that? He didn't tell you he didn't know nothing. He came as a man. And as a man, yes, he had in the spirit, but we talking about what's going on in the flesh. Yes, he knew things. Yes, he did. Remember when he would speak certain things and people would question, why do you think he responded? He knew already. He knew how the people would respond. He knew from their teachers what the teachers were teaching. But when they heard him, they did a 360. Even the so-called teachers did a 360. Remember the so-called Judean leader that came by night to see him? He was like, Master. He called Yahushua the Master, which he knew. You can't do the miracles and things that you do. The miracle signs and wonders that you do, none. Saved by the Spirit, which he came to teach you. The kingdom is here. The Father dwells in man. Why? Because you broke the covenant. I don't have nothing against Moses, but you broke the covenant, family. So it was a need for a new one. And that covenant came in the flesh, in the spirit, as the word of the Father, and he prepared a body for himself through Mary, and he prophesied about it. There's a lot of witnesses. A lot of people don't read, nor do they care to read. I used to be, I ain't gonna never say I used to be like that. I've been an avid reader all my life. And trust me, all my life I've been searching for this, to know these things, family. It's been a lifelong journey. It ain't been since no 2008. It's been since I was a child when I rebelled from going to the Christian church. Because a lot of things I was questioning. You know, nobody had the answers. That's for real. They gave some cliche quote like, no, when he said the herbs are for the healing, what does that mean? Can you go more in depth and explain that to the brother so we can utilize this gimel? Gimel. That's a Hebrew word. They got the Hebrew words up here. Y'all gonna make me pay attention, cricket. But they got so much other stuff on here. It don't matter what it is. As long as it's good, I'm gonna get it and utilize it for what it's for the good that it's for. Uh, Priests. Yeah, let me look up a priest. Y'all the priests, the kings of Judah. Y'all the priests of the kingdom. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you a prophet? Who that? Eshawn Burton. Put a prophet on it. Like I started in the beginning, like I said, I was checking this, uncovering our history. Y'all need to check her out. She's like I said, a forensic scientist. Real deal. Hebrew Israelites in Tartaria in America, part one. She do the research, and like I said, it's like it's the truth. It's the truth, and it's just showing you how powerful it is. Because these are things that we hear and regurgitate all day, every day. Not regurgitate and teach all day, every day, systematically. Some people say a little dogmatic. Y'all need to lighten up and live. That's all you think about. Because I want to be on the right side. You never know the day or the hour he's going to come. I'm not worried about the blessings. The blessings is already here. I'm worried about being perfectly aligned, you know, being perfectly aligned and using which I know he's already given me. I can use that family to overcome the world. I never had a desire to become like anything of the world. I never desired to work for corporate America or any of those things that regular people see as and you'll hear them say, "Oh, God bless me with this or that." No, 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 he didn't. That was your desire. You're dealing with a ruler. He judges amongst gods. You know, you got to elevate your status. If you don't see yourself as him in the flesh, how can the word then become flesh and walk among us? It's got to be in you. And you got to be demonstrating that you know about what you say and what you do and teach others. And with that, peace.